Hey friends, welcome back. And welcome back to another video. Today's very exciting. We're going to be talking about all of the upcoming fall book releases that I think that you should know about. The months in question are going to be September, October, and November. And as usual, I have my laptop here. So we're just going to go through and chat about all of these book titles that sound so much fun. And we're going to start with September. Starting off with one of my most anticipated books of the year is Hot Wax by M.L. Rio. This is a vivid and immersive tale of one woman's reckless mission to make sense of the events that shattered her childhood and made her who she is. It says, drenched in knockdown, drag out, rock and roll, Hot Wax is a raucous, breakneck ride to hell and back, where getting lost might be the only way to find yourself and save your soul. I think it has a lot of obvious, very strong connection to music with a thrilling historical setting. I love M.L. Rio's writing. I know I'm gonna love it. Hot Wax will be out on September 9th. Then we have Rebecca Ross's new book, which is Wild Reverence. This one is going to be out on September 2nd. Wild Reverence says, born in the firelit domain of the Underrealm, Matilda is the youngest goddess of her clan, blessed with humble messenger magic. But in a land where gods often kill each other to steal power and alliances break as quickly as they are forged, Matilda must come of age sooner than most. She may be known to carry words and letters through the realms, but she holds a secret that must hide from even her dearest of allies to ensure her survival. And to complicate matters, there is a mortal boy who dreams of her, despite the fact that they have never met in the waking world. It's the way that I have this arc and I still didn't know what the synopsis said. Why am I like this? This sounds incredible. Rebecca Ross's prose are beautiful, so I think I'm gonna love this too. Rachel Harrison's new book comes out on September 9th. It's called Play Nice. This blurb says, a woman must confront the demons of her past when she attempts to fix up her childhood home in this devilishly clever take on the haunted house. I love a haunted house. I've yet to read a Rachel Harrison, but maybe this will be the one. Who knows? This next one is The Maiden and Her Monster by Maddie Martinez. It is out on September 9th. The blurb is a gorgeous atmospheric debut fantasy that reimagines the Jewish myth of Golem in a tale rooted in history, folklore, and sapphic romance. Perfect for fans of Catherine Arden, Ava Reed, Hannah Witten, and Naomi Novik. For me, this one seems like it'll be either I'm obsessed with it or it's not really my cup of tea, but if anything, I am a half glass full type of gal, so I'm inclined to think that I could love it. The next one is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. It says, in the sexy and emotional romance from the acclaimed writer of Out of the Woods and Out on a Limb, a small town woman's journey to spread her wings intertwines with the arrival of an adventurous newcomer who brings out the best in her. This is another author that I haven't yet read, but I do own Out on a Limb, and I have heard great things about this author. This one is out on September 9th. The next one is Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon. This is the point 2, kind of like a novella, I'm guessing, in the Roots of Chaos series. The series itself has, it's over there. It's the orange one. The Priory of the Orange Tree. It's that series. And on September 16th of this year, there's going to be a little novella. Well, it's 288 pages, so maybe not a novella, but an addition to this world will be coming out then, which is very exciting. The illustrations are always so stunning. The sequel to A Tempest of Tea is coming out on September 23rd, and that book is A Steeping of Blood by Hafsa Faisal. I'm not going to read the synopsis of the second one because I haven't yet read the first one, but I do know that the first one is compared to Six of Crows in that I think that there's a heist and there's a found family. I just love the covers too. I think they're stunning. Guys, I'm so nervous. I'm so absolutely terrified of this book, but Mona Awad is coming out with We Love You Bunny, which is a sequel to Bunny. I'm so scared because I love Bunny as it is. It's sort of like a dark academia, sort of fever dreamy, very wild sort of story. And I'm worried that Bunny 2 is gonna let me down. So, that's coming out on September 23rd. We also have The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovalino. This is the first book in the Hand and Heart series. It's an adult fantasy romance with gothic elements. It says love, loyalty, sacrifice. Gray Flynn has dedicated her life to her mage, Kier. She will be his blade on the battlefield, his healer, his protector. The deep well of raw power inside her is Kier's to use. Gray would do anything for Kier, be anything for him, if he would only ask. When a quest to protect the child of an enemy kingdom pulls them into the dangerous heart of their nation's war, Gray and Kier will need to decide what they are willing to sacrifice to protect their secret. For Gray is no ordinary magical well, but heir to the lost island of Locke, the root of all power. If she dies, all magic dies with her. I'm so stressed by reading that. That sounds really good. Wow, and that's the first in a series. Okay, consider this Now on my most anticipated of the year. This is why I love doing these videos, because like I often don't take time to like read synopses in its entirety until I'm telling you about them. So I love learning alongside you. Thursday Murder Club 5 is coming out on September 25th. This is The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman. This is basically an older cast of characters that live in like a retirement home and they solve crimes together, with or without the police. And it's incredible. I've only read the first 2, but I love them. And I've gotten many people in my life to read them, and they have also liked them. So you should read it. Okay, one of my friends, Kayla, has loved this book, and she knows that I love Lily King, and Lily King's newest book, Heart the Lover, is coming out on September 30th, and I'm very excited about it. It is a magnificent and intimate novel of desire, friendship, loss, and the lasting impact of first love. That's all I need to know. Lily King has beautiful writing, and I just think I'm gonna love it. Guys, on September 30th, Soul Searching by Lila Sage comes out, which is Sweetwater Peak #1. This is like a paranormal romance. That's all I know, and I simply like don't need to read the synopsis, because if you know Lila Sage, she is our Rebel Blue Ranch swift and saddled queen. And this is her new romance series, and I'm very excited about it. I don't know much about this one, okay? But it is Exit Lane by Erica Vierink. This is for fans of You Again, One Day, and People We Meet on Vacation. It says, after a post-graduation drive from Iowa City to New York City, Teddy and Marin have both had enough of each other to last the rest of their lives. But that doesn't stop their paths from crossing over 8 rocky years, punctuated by chance encounters and transatlantic visits on a journey that eventually brings them right back to where it all started. Sounds kind of cute. That's going to be published on September 16th. This cover is adorable. It's Different This Time by Joss Richard is out on September 30th. Seems like a second chance. Yeah, it says it. In this sweeping second chance romance, a twist of fate forces 2 former roommates to move back to their beloved New York City brownstone and face the events that led to their estrangement and confront the unresolved feelings for each other. Just look at that cover. It is screaming fall. So now let's chat about October. We have The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow, a legend, a lie, a love story. It is published on October 28th, and it is a moving, genre-defying quest about a lady knight whose legend built a nation, and the cowardly historian sent back through time to make sure she plays her part even if it breaks his heart. It's the way that I have this arc too, and I still didn't read the synopsis until now. I need to like hide from myself. That sounds beautiful. And Alex E. Harrow's writing is absolutely stunning, so she's gonna do a great job with the story. I can just already tell. Then we have Girl Dinner by Olive E. Blake. This is out on October 21st. It says, good girls deserve a treat. Exactly. Every member of The House, the most exclusive sorority on campus, and all its alumni are beautiful, high-achieving, and universally respected. After a freshman year she would rather forget, sophomore Nina Kaur knows being one of the chosen few accepted into the house is the first step in her path to the brightest possible future. Once she's taken into their fold, the house will surely ease her fears of failure and protect her from those who see a young woman on her own as easy prey. Meanwhile, adjunct professor Dr. Sloane Hartley is struggling to return to work after accepting a demotion to support her partner's new position at the cutthroat university. After 18 months at home with their newborn daughter, Sloane's clothes don't fit right, her girl dad husband isn't as present as he thinks he is, and even the few hours a day she's apart from her child fill her psyche with paralyzing ennui. When invited to the house's academic liaison, Sloane enviously drinks in the way the alumni seem to have it all, achieving a level of collective perfection that Sloane so desperately craves. As Nina and Sloane each get drawn deeper into the arcane rituals of the sisterhood, they learn that living well comes with bloody costs. And when they are finally invited to the table, they will have to decide just how much they can stomach in the name of solidarity and power. I also have this arc and I haven't read it. I hate to inform you. It sounds great. It'll be out on October 21st. Okay, this one I know nothing about. We're gonna figure it out together. Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. I feel like I've heard good things about this author. This is a fantasy romance, and it says, enter a new world of romantic fantasy, a journey of powerful magic, enemies to lovers, and political intrigue, as a warrior princess and a vengeful king from a rival fae courts form a fierce alliance to take down a merciless despot. D-E-S-P-O-T, like a tyrant. Despot? They join together to take down a common enemy. Cute. I don't know, I've heard good things about this author, I think. That will be out on October 28th. And our girl Haley Dennings has the sequel to This Ravenous Fate, which is Our Vicious Descent, will be out on October 21st. Is this 1920s Harlem, I think? So this is book 2, but book 1 is, I was right, it is 1920s Harlem, and it is lesbian vampires, enemies to lovers. It's very dramatic and has a lot of like really powerful families involved. I really liked the first book, so the second one is coming out on October 21st. One of my most anticipated books books of the entire year, is Mate by Ali Hazelwood, which is the sequel to Bride. I feel like at this point, it's a if you know, you know situation. This is a vampire and werewolf romance, and it is absolutely phenomenally written. Ali Hazelwood did such a great job with the world building and like magic and fantasy elements of the story. I adore it. Mark your calendars. Also very exciting is C.G. Drew's newest book, Hazelthorn. They wrote Don't Let the Forest In, and I absolutely love that book. That'll either be in my top 10 or honorable mentions of this year. So their newest book returns with another deeply unsettling and yet hauntingly beautiful tale of murder and botanical body horror, perfect for fans of Andrew Joseph White and We Have Always Lived in the Castle. So another young adult queer gothic fantasy. I can't wait. This will be out on October 28th. Then we have The Scour by Richard Swan. Richard Swan is the author of the Empire of the Wolf series. The first one is The Justice of Kings. This is a series that I really want to read. And The Scour is a 0.5, like a prequel to the series, which would be very exciting if you have read the series. There's like an extra little story coming out on October 20th. Then we have The Isle in the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri. It is a heart-shattering romantasy of sapphic longing, medieval folklore, and love that spans the centuries. In a Britain fueled by stories, the knight and the witch are fated to fall in love and doom each other over and over, the same tale retold over hundreds of lifetimes. That sounds absolutely stunning. It'll be out on October 21st. Okay, this one, look at this cover. It is The Book of Autumn by Molly O'Sullivan. It says fantasy, romance, dark academia, romantasy, all of these things. It says it's for readers of Adrian Young, Olivia Blake, Hazel Beck, and Lee Bardugo's Ninth House in a spellbinding debut about ambition, privilege, second chance romance, and the ancient magic set at an enchanted school tucked among the red mesas of the New Mexico desert, where a formidable pair of magicians are summoned to pursue an alleged killer. Those were a lot of heavy hitter authors talked about in the beginning, and it sounds like I could obviously love it since I love most of those authors. The cover is also just so cute. The Book of Autumn will be out on October 28th. The next one is Red City by Marie Lu. That will be out on October 14th, and it says The Godfather meets the Magicians in a sweeping adult debut, perfect for fans of V.E. Schwab. Red City is a dark and deadly contemporary fantasy of magical warfare, star-crossed ambition, and the pursuit of perfection at any cost, set in a glittering alternate Los Angeles. The Godfather and the Magicians put together, mashed up with V.E. Schwab. What do you mean? That sounds amazing. Okay, now we're gonna move into November. You already knew it was gonna happen. The Strength of the Few by James Islington is coming out. This is book 2 in the Hierarchy series. The first one is The Will of the Many. That is one of the most incredible books that I've read in my reading career. Love it so much. Cannot wait for book 2. Since this is book 2, I won't read you the synopsis, but book 1 is, like I said, The Will of the Many. Simply put, our main character in this is Vis, and he has been adopted by this like mysterious guy and is being shipped off to this elite academy to find answers for him. But what he doesn't know is that Vis is also not who he says he is. And while he's at this elite academy, not only is he trying to find the answers because he's like obviously being threatened, like he has to do what he says, but he also has his own motivations for finding out specific information. And the magic system is so interesting, the politics, everything is very dramatic, and by the end of the book, my jaw was on the ground. It is so good. So that'll be out on November 11th, and I can't wait. I might have to reread that one actually. Then also on November 11th, we have Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldree. This is Legends and Lattes 2. So we do have the prequel, which is Bookshops and Bone Dust, as well as the original book, Legends and Lattes, and now we'll have Brigands and Bread Knives. And I just can't wait. Aw, and we're following the bookseller Fern that we know and love in Bookshops and Bone Dust. Wait, that's really exciting. I love Travis Baldree's writing. I've loved every single book by him, so I can't wait. Listen, we also have the sequel to Quicksilver coming out, which is Brimstone by Kelly Hart. Since this is book 2, I won't read you the synopsis, but the sequel comes out on November 18th. Wow, that's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Quicksilver is a romantasy book. It is the Fae and Alchemy series, and it has both of those things very prominently. I had a great time with this one. I truly love this book. And I can't wait for book 2, honestly. This one is a little bit confusing, but it is A Dark Forgetting by Kristen Ciccarelli. This book was originally published in 2022, it says, as Edgewood, but now it is being titled as A Dark Forgetting and being republished now, being released on November 4th. So I don't know anything about Edgewood. I just know that I love the Crimson Moth duology by this author. So yeah, I might as well read this. This is an epic love story of a magical girl, the boy she left behind, and a deadly curse course. Oh, it says now in paperback. I don't know, but this edition of this story is coming out on November 4th. How about that? The sequel to Heavenly Bodies by Imani Iriu is coming out, which is called Fallen Stars, on November 27th. This is a romantasy. It's the first book in a dazzling new romantasy series that blends Greek mythology and shadow magic with a tantalizing enemies to lovers romance that will rewrite the stars. I've heard great things about that book, and I'm very excited about Fallen Stars. I've been kind of putting this book off so that I could immediately go into book 2 if I really wanted to. Oh, it says that there's gonna be 5 books total, so there's no point in waiting. Book 2 will be out at the end of November though, so that's exciting. Okay, now Adrian Young's new book, the first in a duology, is called Fallen City. In the great walled city of Izara, political turmoil ignites a rebellion 100 years in the making, but when a legionnaire falls in love with the magistrate's daughter, their love will threaten the fate of the city and the will of the gods. I truly love Adrian Young's writing. I have yet to read a book that I don't like by her, so regardless, this will be on my TBR, simply because I've loved everything else. That will be out on November 4th. Then on November 18th, we have I, Medusa by Ayana Gray. This is a new kind of villain origin story, reimagining one of the most iconic monsters in Greek mythology as a provocative and powerful young heroine. I've been meaning to read from this author, and even though like a mythological retelling isn't really my cup of tea typically, I have been intrigued by Medusa. Not gonna lie, I mean, who isn't? This one sounds kind of fun. It is Ship of Spells by H. Leighton Dixon. It says it'll be out on November 4th. It literally has 1 rating and 3 reviews right now. But it says it's a romantic fantasy with pirates, and it says a shipwrecked royal mage in training wants to join the crew of the infamous pirate ship who rescued her. But first, she must not only prove herself to the infuriating captain, but also to the sentient ship, the Ship of Spells, that's bonded to him. That sounds right up my alley. Okay, Chloe Gong's new book comes out. It's called Cold Wire. I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate this cover. I hate it. But it is a young adult dystopian science fiction, book 1 in a series, where humanity has moved to virtual reality to flee their deteriorating world, following 2 young soldiers who must depend on unlikely allies in their fight of survival. I know I enjoy Chloe Gong's writing, and if I'm in the mood for like a dystopian science fiction, I very well might try this one out. It will be published on November 4th. Then to tie it all off, we have a cute little romance. It's called An Academic Affair by Jodi McAllister. A charming new romance about 2 English professors who embark on a fake relationship only to discover that it may be harder to pretend than they realize. So dual professors, fake dating, automatically up my alley. So obviously a lot of really great sounding books coming out during this fall season. Let me know down below any books that I might have missed so that other people can see your comments and interact and get even more information. But at the very least, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you don't know what else to say down below in the comments, then leave me the fall leaves emoji. And while you're down there, please do subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. See you next time. Bye.